Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to some more Pokemon action. I'm your host Ryan, and today we are continuing on with our Pokemon Tournament VGC 15-ish tournament. So again, like I said the last episode, I wanted to do well, so I did not record while I was playing, but I did record the battles, so it's okay. It's going to be a post-con. So today's battle is going to be against Johnny Gamer. I don't remember his exactly. Now, this was one of the only battles that I was concerned about, and it wasn't because I know the person, because I actually have no idea who this person was before this battle, but it's more because that he seemed to be very adamant on Smeargle, and that Smeargle was one of the best Pokemon in the game, which, with Dark Void, I can agree with, but I was a little hesitant because my team does not deal with Dark Void very well. So I wasn't really sure how this battle would go if he brought Smeargle, and I changed my Tyranitar from having Assault Vest to having Lumberry and Low Kick. Not that I needed Low Kick for anything, Crunch, One Hit KO Smeargle, but just in case he was running Smeargle, Kangaskhan Low Kick was a good option. But thankfully he didn't actually bring it. His entire team was Volcarona, Whimsicott, Salamence, Kangaskhan, Conkeldurr, and Greninja, which I think is a pretty interesting team. I don't get it. It seems good stuffs, but there's like no there's really no speed control or anything like this, so it's like kind of off meta good stuff. So I don't know, I was pretty interested by this team, but looking at this team I was like, alright, well, the Whimsicott's going to be interesting because even if it gets a taunt off, I can just go for a Heat Wave, no big deal. I don't mind if it taunts any of my Trick Room setters. And then I was like looking, like Salamence. Okay, Salamence, not too big of a deal if I start off with Mr. Mime. Kangaskhan's actually not too big of a deal if I start off with Mr. Mime because, I can block Fake Out with Quick Guard, and then a Heat Wave to the face is just going to be beautiful. Plus, if I Quick Guard a taunt, it's great. Conkeldurr, again, nothing to a Mr. Mime. Volcarona interests me because I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to bring Tyranitar for the Volcarona, because on one hand, Tyranitar Sand plus Rock Slide is just going to kill a Volcarona, but on the other hand, there's a good chance it's going to be running Quiver Dance, and if I mess up, and something that I'm not very good at is stopping setups. If I mess up and let the Volcarona set up, I'm not going to be able to stop it. So, and I was like kind of like looking at the rest of the team, I was like, well, he's got a Conkeldurr. I don't think I have anything for that outside of my Mr. Mime, and I really don't want to bring Tyranitar into that, because if I let the Conkeldurr go out of whack, that's not going to be good. And I was like, Whimsicott, there's really not much my current Tyranitar can do against that. My normal Tyranitar carries Fire Punch and Ice Punch, so it's no big deal there, but I can't really do very much there. So, and then Greninja. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to bring Ferrothorn. I know that's kind of a weird choice against the Volcarona, but he's got a Salamence, he's got a Kangaskhan, he's got a Greninja, he's got a Whimsicott. They can't do anything to Ferrothorn, so I figured that's probably my best bet. So we're going to go into this battle, leading off with Mr. Mime and Camerupt. And the first turn is going to be probably the best turn. So I'm going to start off with Mr. Mime and Camerupt, and he's going to start off with Greninja and Whimsicott. So looking at this lead, I mean, I'm just going to make the most obvious prediction. Scald into Camerupt and Taunt into Mr. Mime. So figuring that, I'm just going to take out my Mr. Mime. There's no point. I can't block Taunt anyway. So I'm going to take out my Mr. Mime, bring in my Gastrodon, and then I think I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave. Either a Heat Wave or an Earth Power. I forget exactly which one. Maybe the Earth Power onto the Greninja, or maybe I keep him alive for another turn. I don't remember exactly, but that's the plan. And to a T, he does exactly that, so that's perfect. He does taunt the Greninja, he does go for the Scald, and I do eat that up for a +1. Now, I do believe I go for the Heat Wave here. Please tell me I am correct. I should be correct. No, I do go for the Earth Power, right. So the reason I went for the Earth Power is because, first of all, I knew it would take out the Greninja. Second of all, I'm pretty sure Whimsicott is completely useless if it can't get a taunt or an encore or anything else off, so no big deal. Now he's going to encore me into Earth Power, which is actually not a bad thing, as you'll see in the second battle. But he's going to encore me into Earth Power, not a big deal. And he's gonna go for the Quiver Dance. Now I did attack into the Whimsicott, I did go for a Heat Wave. I was wondering when I was replaying the replay why I actually attacked the Whimsicott there, and that's because I went for a Heat Wave, but I got encored into Earth Power, and I guess it just chose the Whimsicott as the opponent, which is good because I wanted to kill the Whimsicott that turn. Now he's going to go for the Giga Drain with the Volcarona. Now thankfully I am Rindo Berry, so I'm going to survive that. He's going to go for the Drain Punch. I was like a little worried there because I thought he was going to hit my Gashadon, but he doesn't, so that's beautiful. And believe it or not, I'm actually just going to completely ignore the Conkeldurr. I'm just going to go for that Volcarona. Now, the Volcarona is +1 special defense, but again, remember, I am +1 special attack. So my Scald and Earth Power combo will take out the Volcarona, which is beautiful. Now, he's only got Conkeldurr left, which is perfect. So I'm going to just stay in. I'm going to go for an Earth Power again. I'm locked into Earth Power. And I'm just going to double up the Earth Power because, first of all, I don't think this is going to kill him. You know, wasn't confident in the attack power to kill it. And second of all, I didn't want to Scald Burn him in case he was Guts. Now, judging by his moveset, we had only seen Drain Punch and now we see Mach Punch. I'm pretty sure he's Iron Fist, so there's no need to worry about that. But just in case, I didn't want to burn him to make him stronger and then, you know, some weird thing happens and I lose. So, first game, 3-0, great. It went very, very well. So the second battle going in, I figured, let's just do it. Let's bring the same team. I'm going to ditch the Ferrothorn this time because I didn't really see the point of it, so I brought Tyranitar instead. Now, this is going to be an interesting lead. He's going to start off with Volcarona and Whimsicott. So, immediately, I'm going to say, what's this Whimsicott going to do? This Whimsicott is probably going to go for Taunt, maybe a Safeguard. I don't know why it would go for a Safeguard. Maybe an Encore, maybe a Moonblast, maybe a Giga Drain. I don't really know, but all I know that it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna just predicting the Taunt, which is pretty obvious. I'm just gonna go for a Psychic and an Ancient Power into the Volcarona, which seems like an interesting play, but I don't know. I think that was just my best play. There's no reason not to go for it. He's going to get a Quiver Dance up, and I fully expected the Quiver Dance. I did expect my Ancient Power and Psychic combo to actually take it out, but the Quiver Dance, I guess he's invested in Sunbulk, so he doesn't actually go down here. Plus, Ancient Power is only base 60, so it kind of makes sense. But the Psychic goes off. Now, I went for the double attack first because, you know, I thought, you know, maybe he's Focus Sash. There's a chance. I do almost take him out, which is awesome. And he ends up having Leftovers, which is also an interesting choice. But, okay, so moving into turn 2, I do something a little different. First of all, I'm taunted, so there's really nothing I can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Heat Wave, so I can bring the Whimsicott down to its Sash, which at this point we pretty much can confirm that it has a Sash, because nothing on his team would really want a Sash, and we already knew the Greninja had Life Orb. So I'm going to go for Heat Wave, which will kill the Greninja. Not the Greninja, the Volcarona, so no big deal there. But just in case I end up missing the Heat Wave, I did Psychic into the Volcarona as well, which will also kill the Volcarona. So he's going to go for Moonblast, which again is not going to do anything. He does drop my special attack, which is very unfortunate, and he does go for Giga Drain. And since it's neutral and not stab and only base like what, 60 or 70 or 80, it's pretty weak, it does end up not doing very much. Now he does get the health back, so the Heat Wave, if it missed, that would have been really bad, but it doesn't miss, so I do get it, and it goes down. Now, one of the interesting things that, first of all, I don't think he actually watches my videos because he would have known this team was coming, but I just wanted to say, like, on Twitter, he was saying that he had a win condition this match with the Volcarona, but I don't see it. Maybe you guys can see it. By leading off with the Volcarona and eating the Ancient Power, he lost the win condition. Maybe he meant later on in the game and not by saving it. I don't know. I don't really care to ask, but curiously, I don't think the Volcarona could have won him regardless, because again, I did bring Tyranitar in the back, which he did end up knowing that. So I'm not really sure why he thinks the Volcarona was the win condition. If anything, I'd say Salamence or Kangaskhan were a better win condition, because again, you know, my team is not really meant to handle it, so I don't know. But yeah, so in comes Conkeldurr, and I'm minus special attack. I'm like, I'm not gonna stay in here to take a Drain Punch. Wait, hold on. This is actually probably one of... I'm just gonna say it right here. This is probably one of the most clever turns that I've ever had. I knew the Drain Punch was coming in on my Camerupt, but in my opinion, Camerupt was my win condition because it's the strongest Pokemon on my team, and if I pair it up with Gastrodon, there's really no way that he can win that. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to be a little cheeky. I'm going to predict the Drain Punch onto the Camerupt because he's not going to Drain Punch the Mr. Mime, and truth be told, Conkeldurr doesn't have anything to hit a Mr. Mime with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch in my Tyranitar to Die, which you might think is a very bad choice, but first of all, the Sand's going to kill the Whimsicott. So that's perfection. I just want to take the Whimsicott out. Then what it's going to do is it's going to have 5 turns of, what is it, like 5% of their health every turn? And it's not that much. It's whatever leftovers recovers. So for the next couple of turns, they're just going to be whittling away. And it seems like a weird choice to drop the Tyranitar, but looking at the rest of his team, I really didn't need Tyranitar. Maybe for the Kangaskhan, maybe, but truth be told, I could handle the Kangaskhan with my Camerupt and my Mr. Mime combo, you know? So, not a big deal. Now, I'm going to get the Psychic off. Unfortunately, I did get a negative special drop, so the 2-hit KO ends up turning into a, 4-hit KO, because with Drain Punch and all that jazz. But yeah, what are you going to do? So, I'm going to go down, and I think it's worth it, because now I'm going to drop the Whimsicott. So now it's going to be a 3-2. He can't switch out. He can't change anything. He can't do anything about it. And he's just going to whittle himself away. And I think that was pretty clever. You know, I'm not looking for an ego boost, but I think that was pretty clever because he does end up bringing the Greninja. And this is probably the weirdest thing that I didn't understand. I don't understand why he didn't bring the Salamence or the Kangaskhan at least one turn. I had nothing outside of the Mr. Mime to hit them super effectively with Stab. I didn't really understand that. I think Salamence, if it wasn't Mega, I can understand. If it's a Mega Salamence, I think that would have done wonders on my team. Kangaskhan, Mega Kangaskhan, if it had Power Up Punch, Hammer Arm, or Low Kick, would have done tremendous damage to my team. But I'm just a little surprised. But here I had a decision. I could bring in either Camerupt or Gastrodon, and looking at his team, you know, I figured Camerupt was not my best option. The only Pokemon in the back that could happen are Salamence, Kangaskhan, and Greninja. Compared to all of them, Camerupt only wants to come in on Kangaskhan because Camerupt can't kill Salamence, Camerupt can't kill Greninja, and it'd be interesting. Now, if it was Salamence, that'd be really good because I could just go for Dazzling Gleam, Ancient Power, and it would die pretty easily. But Greninja, I would kind of have an issue with. I know my Earth Power one-hit KOs, but we also don't know if he's just being cheeky and he has a Water Shuriken, and that would be a problem. So, and if I brought in Camerupt with Trick Room Up, I wouldn't switch into Gastrodon, so that could be a problem. So I ended up going into Gastrodon because it basically just shuts down his Greninja. Oh, we didn't have Trick Room Up, so that's exactly why I didn't bring Camerupt in. I wouldn't have enough time to get Trick Room Up, and I'd have to switch out. I'd have to switch out for the Gastrodon if he did bring in the Greninja. So again, no reason to bring in the Camerupt there. And he does double into my Gastrodon there. I am gonna get a Scald Off onto the Conkeldurr, because at this point I was like, this thing is 100% going to be Iron Fist, so I want that burn, and I take this turn to set up Trick Room, because again, you know, he's got nothing on me. Now, I know he has Mach Punch, and I know I have Quick Guard, but honestly, at this point, I was like, I don't mind if he kills my Gastrodon. I have Trick Room Up, the Greninja can't have Sash, so it's gonna die to a Earth Power. I'm gonna go for Dazzling Gleam just to kind of ensure that my Earth Power the next turn does kill it. And from here, it's pretty much a one game. He does burn me. No, he does scald me. But I do have Citrus Berry, so I'm going to go up, I believe, slightly less than half. Yeah. So I'm going to bring my camera up, then this is game. I'm going to Earth Power the Greninja because, again, I don't want to leave that thing alive. I'm going to Psychic the Conkeldurr. And you're going to see one of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't go for the Quick Guard the first turn, because this is my win condition. So Earth Power goes off, Greninja's not surviving this, no way, no how. Alright, we can expect a Drain Punch off on the Conkeldurr, so the best that I can hope for is a crit Psychic or Special Defense drop. Don't really need it though. You'll see, I don't really need it because he's only about half, and he did attack before my Mr. Mime, so the Psychic goes off. He's about a little low, and then this is where the win condition comes into play. So basically, I have two options here. I can go for the Earth Power and hope that he goes for Drain Punch, and he dies. Or I can Protect, expecting the Drain Punch, and goes for a Psychic. I can predict a Mach Punch and go for Quick Guard, or I can just double attack the Conkeldurr. Now, I'm trying to think, what would his best play be? He's pretty much can't survive a Psychic, but he also can't survive a Camera-Up attack. So I think his best play is to go for the Mach Punch to kill the Camera-Up, and just hope that maybe my Psychic misses, or that the special attack drop from earlier means that he can't die, and then since he is faster than me in Trick Room, maybe he's hiding a Poison Jab up his sleeve, or lack of sleeves. So my win condition here is to just go for Quick Guard, predicting the Mach Punch, and go for an Earth Power. And that'll be it. So it does go off, and that's going to be game. So yeah, I'm glad I won that, and we have to move on to the next round, which I forgot to record, so I'm going to have to do that real quick. I totally forgot about it, but either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to catch you guys at the next episode. Peace.